Well, red has a very easy decision in terms of what to do on his turn. He has 2 cards in his hand. Now he's going to add a card to the impulse. He could add this card, trade 1 size 3 card from your hand. That would be stupid of red, because more than likely somebody else is going to be able to take advantage of it, and he's not even going to be able to take advantage of it. So he's going to add this card here, which is a draw, which other people can take advantage of, but red here will be able to boost it because he's got the 2 red boosts there, and for every 2, again, you can bump that up by 1. So he'll be able to draw hopefully some more cards. So he's going to add this draw card to the impulse, and he's going to execute his basic tech again to go ahead and get back to ground zero and have a second transport ship. And thankfully this impulse kind of jives where with red needs to be. So first you're going to draw 3 size 1 cards from the deck. Size 2, size 2, size 2. Red is kicking and screaming. He can plan 2 yellow cards from his hand, doesn't have that. And now he can draw some cards. You're going to draw 1 card from the deck, so he gets this card. And since he's able to boost this, draw 1 green and yellow card, so he can draw 2. So if he gets a green and yellow, he can keep it. There's a yellow and a red. So he got 2 cards, so he's back to not in a great shape. So that was the sum total of red's turn. But after trimming the impulse down, red does get 2 cards at the end of his turn. Now it's yellow's turn. He's going to go ahead and move this command card, command a 2-ship fleet for 1 move. Again, everybody will be able to make use of it. Then yellow's going to go ahead and activate his tech for planning. So he's going to plan a card from the deck. So we got here a green card, and now he's going to try to plan 2 more cards that are green. The first one here is green, which will let him do a plan again. And what you do there in the case of when you have more, when you're executing your plan, you're going to add more cards to the plan. You kind of create a second plan. And then we're going to do 1 more card here. This one's red anyway, so I'm just going to go to the discard pile. So tech done, we're going to activate the impulse. So first card is draw 3 size 1 cards from the deck. So let's see what we got here. Size 2, not going to work. Next one, that's a size 1. We'll go ahead and keep that one. And then 1 more card here, another size 1. So that worked out quite well for yellow. Now we could plan 2 yellow cards from the deck. We got a full plan anyway. We're going to have to execute it, so I'm going to skip that. And the next one is a draw. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cards. So we're going to draw 1 card from the deck, sabotage, and 1 green or yellow card, which we don't get, we get a red card. So he's at 9 cards, and then we can command a 2-ship fleet for 1 move. And so we're going to move our 2-ship fleet here to the mine. It says mine 1 size 1 card, but we can boost that. So hopefully we get a size 1 or a size 2. And we did get a size 2. And that's going to be handy because this goes nicely with our little blue combo here. We got a size 2 blue, and again, remember, we're going to use those blues here to boost this action to trade more red cards. So now we're at the point where we could be trading multiple red cards. Currently we have 1 red card, but that's going to change. So we've done the impulse. Now we have to execute our plan. This is handy because at the bottom of our plan, we get to make a new plan. So the first thing we get to do here is refine 1 mineral card for 1 point per gem. Now I'm going to go ahead and refine 1 of these blue cards here because it's for every 2 you get the bump. So yes, I could try to get a blue, but I've already got a bump out of it. So I'm going to get that. That's going to give me a point. That's going to move yellow up to 6. Next is to draw 1 card from the deck and then possibly a blue or yellow. We got 9 cards in our hand, so we're going to draw 1 and stop there because we don't draw once we're at 10. And we got another draw card, which is a waste. And we have another plan card, so we can plan 2 blue cards from our hand. So we're going to start a new plan. I'm going to go ahead and put these cards in here. 1 here is to trade, 1 green card from a hand. We got a few green cards we can do that with. And this one here, refine 1 green mineral card. We don't have any of those yet, but I'm going to stick that there just in case and leave that there because sometimes it's hard to get cards in the plan. Not in my case, because I have a lot of plans. Yeah, let me leave it. I'll leave that there. I may end up mining a green card, so I'll leave that. All right, so yellow is going to get a point for his patrolling of the sector. Then we'll go to white. Now white sees a little bit of an opportunity here to get at yellow, who is really their only competition currently, because red got beat up so bad. So white's going to go ahead and play the sabotage card, to sabotage a cruiser fleet. I'll do a sabotage when I get there, but there's another reason they're playing this card. And if you look here, it's a red with 2 icons, and they have a basic tech, which they can now do. Mine 1 card from your hand. It must match the color and size of the last card. So there we go, 2 red icons. So that's an instant there, a little boost there for red actions. So now we'll execute the impulse. First thing is to plan 2 yellow cards, don't have yellow cards. Next one is to draw 1 card from the deck and then draw 1 green or yellow card. Well, remember, we just made it so we can boost up red actions. So now we can draw 2 cards and see if they're green or yellow. First card is blue, and the next card is yellow, so we can keep that. And then down here it says command 2 ship fleet for 1 move. We're going to do a little bit of hijinks here. So we got a 2 ship fleet here for 1 move. We move there, command 2 fleets for 1 move apiece. Each must move the same card. Well, we're just going to go ahead and move this right back here. And now we can boost this. So instead of trade 1 blue card, we can trade 2. And then we're going to discard these 2 blue cards for 3 points. So discard those for 3 points. And so white will be up to 9. And white will do sabotage a cruiser fleet with 3 bombs. Well, how does that work? How does sabotage work? Well, anywhere that you have transport fleets or a cruiser, you can try to bomb or sabotage anything that is also in that same sector. Well, here, that sabotage card here is very specific though. It says sabotage a cruiser fleet with 3 bombs. Well, we're white. We're going to try to blow that up so that he's not around here harassing us. So it says 3 bombs. Basically, that's 3 flips of cards off the deck. So we're going to do 3 of those. So we're going to do the first one. Okay, so that is a hit. Anytime you have 2 or 3 icons on a card, that's going to equal a hit. So we're going to go ahead and flip the other ones because even though it doesn't matter, there's only 1 ship. We're just, we got to go through the mechanics of it. So in this case, there we go. That'd be 3 hits there. So we didn't need that. We're going to blow this up and that'll give us white another point. The white gets the point for the sabotage, and now it's the end of the turn and they're patrolling the sector core. They get another point. Now white here has to be a little bit careful. There's not a lot they can do now. It's their turn's over, but they put this sabotage in the middle. And there's not a lot of cruisers in this game. A little bit different than the last couple of games I've played for sure. And just a little insight, I actually did record this playthrough already, but there was a glitch in my sound, and the last game was full of lots and lots and lots of battles. And this one we've had 1 very lopsided battle that happened in the first round. We'll see if that changes, but this game can play out very differently. Each guy has their own little sort of economic activity, in the map here. But regardless, white has set himself up to possibly be the target of a sabotage. But again, there's not a lot of stuff that other players can do because there hasn't not been very much shipbuilding yet. Now red is going to go ahead and add for the start of his turn, command a 2 transport fleet for 1 move to the impulse. Again, it's going to allow other people maneuverability, but red really needs this, and red will get to do this again when his turn comes back around before this is discarded from the impulse. Red's also going to do his generic basic tech. He is going to make white pay for playing that sabotage. He's going to discard this card to move a fleet, and he's going to move this sucker right over here, and then he's probably going to wipe out white. We'll see. To the impulse. First card here, draw a card from the deck. And we can boost this red card because of our minerals, so we can draw 2 green yellow cards. The first card is green, we can keep that. And the second card is blue, we don't keep that. Now we can command a 2 ship fleet for 1 move. I'm going to go ahead and move this guy up here, and we're going to take a look and see what this card gives us. I'm going to go ahead and replace the card I drew with this build card. So it says build 1 transport at home, but since we're able to boost that up, we can actually build 2 transports at home. So red is going to recover nicely there. Next card is a sabotage, and we're going to sabotage a cruiser fleet with 3 bombs. So again, we just need 1 hit in this case. We're going to flip a card. Okay, there's our hit. And then I'll flip the other 2 cards there. And now we're going to get rid of white's ship there and give red a point. So red goes up to 3 points. And the last action is command a 2 transport fleet for 1 move. And I think we're going to do a little bit of a combo here. We're going to move these guys up here. And again, we're going to build another 2 transports right there. So now red's got a little army of transports. No plan for red, but we are at least patrolling the sector core finally. So red will get his point. Now he is catching up a little bit to yellow, but he's got some catching up to do there to get up to white. On yellow's turn, yellow is going to add a command card here that allows him to move a command a 1 transport fleet. And they're also going to do their basic tech. And I think I'm going to do away with doing the plan thing right now. I'm going to do the generic tech and discard a card. I'm going to go ahead and discard this plan to move some ships around. I'm going to go ahead and move them down here. And let's take a look at this card. and see what we got here. And I think what yellow is going to do is go ahead and just put this sabotage card here. Moving here is not going to do any good, but now they have this in their arsenal that they can threaten people with. First card on the impulse is command a 2-ship fleet for 1 move. I think what we'll do, we have a couple of choices here. We could go up here and try to mine a size 2 card. It says mine 1, but again we can boost it. That puts us kind of close to red's cruiser. I guess it's kind of 6 1/2 dozen. Well, no, it's a little bit further over here, so we could explore here and see what's going on, or we could mine a card. I'm gonna go ahead and explore. I'm gonna go ahead and move there and see what we got here. Jackpot, this is the card we drew, so this is build 1 cruiser at home. That was one thing I was concerned about here with yellow, was, you know, fine, they got a couple of transports out, but there's no cruisers. And since we're able to boost this, actually twice, we have 2 boost points there, so we can build not 1, but 2 cruisers. But also, if we look down here at the minerals, we get 2 more boost points, so we can actually build 3 cruisers. Hello. There we go. We got our ICBMs there. I'm going to go ahead and point those right at the center. So perfect card to draw. Next card in the impulse is sabotage. Nothing to sabotage. We can command a 2 transport fleet for 1 move, and then we can command down here a 1 transport fleet for 1 move. So I'm going to do a little bit of a daisy chain here. I'm going to move, first of all, command a 2 transport fleet for 1 move them in here. Again, that's a little dangerously close there to red's cruiser, but we should be okay. And I'm going to lay down here, command a 1 transport fleet for 1 move. I'm not going to boost that, even though I could. I'm going to move him down here and allow me to build 1 cruiser at home. Because again, man, remember, we explored this and then we activated it because we entered our move there. But remember, I can boost that. So I can actually build again 2 cruisers at home. This is where it's starting to get good now. So now we've got a 5 cruiser fleet there. So all of that was triggered off this first command card. Now we're going to trigger the second one, command a 1 transport fleet for 1 move. So we could move down here and build another cruiser, but I think that's going to be overkill. There's only so many cruisers you need. Now I've only got, let's see, 5 ships left in my supply. You know, I might actually do that. No, you think I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to move here because I am down in points. And having an army doesn't always equal points. As you can see, you can get a lot of points out of refining and trading. So I'm going to mine 1 size 1 card from the deck. There's no way to boost this right now. So unfortunately we got a size 2 card. I was hoping to get a little bit more minerals for boosting, but oh well. He's still safe here because again, all of these cruisers here on that gate. Now I can execute my plan. I'm going to go ahead and choose to do it even though I'm only going to activate really that first card. I can trade a green card and then refine a green card. Obviously I don't have any green minerals. But I do have a green card here that has 2 of these on there, and it's just a plan card. So I'm going to discard that for 2 points from the trade, and I'm going to get my 2 points here. So we're getting closer to white, but I'm not patrolling, so I figured let me get a little bit of points there because I feel like white's going to get a lot more points. They're going to get down around here somewhere. And yes, I've got an army, but it might be a little too late. So those 2 points may come in handy. So white's going to add this execute card to the impulse, which is a very generic card. It could come in handy for other players, but it's going to come in handy for white for sure. And then I'm going to discard this card here to do the generic tech, but I'm going to do an interesting little thing here. So you can see how important these command cards really are. I'm going to move this here. This is command 2 fleets for 1 move apiece. They must end up on the same card. And then I'm just going to go ahead and move both of these down here. And that's going to boost that up. Instead of drawing 2 cards, I can draw 3 cards. So if I wanted, I could have moved one guy over there, you know, then later another guy over here, but now I've got these guys a little bit more flexible position because I use this kind of command to daisy chain the move. Anyway, so I'm going to draw 3 cards. So we're looking for blue here. There's a blue. There's only 1 icon on that. Another blue. Oh my gosh. There's 3, and I've already got a 3. Little secret. And then we're going to draw another one, and that's a red card. I've got 9 cards in our hand, so we're close to the limit. So now we're at the impulse. Sabotage a cruiser with 3 bombs. There's nobody to sabotage. Command a 2 transport fleet for 1 move. Well, here we go. So these guys are going to move here, 2 there. And so instead of trading 1 blue card, we can trade 2 blue cards. I'm even going to look at these. We've got dollar signs in my eyes here. So these 2 here for 6 points. And that is huge, actually. That's going to put white up to 17 points. And so they just need 3 more points to win the game. So the next section here, again, this is going to be really helpful for white. Command a 1 transport fleet for 1 move. They can move him here, and then now this command 2 fleets back to the same spot. So they're back to here to draw 3 cards. And they have 7 now, so we'll see here. We get any blues? There's a yellow. There's a 2 red, And there's a 3 yellow. So the luck has run out a little bit out there. I should say they do have their 1 card with 1 blue on it. And next thing we can do is execute a size 1 card from my hand or execute one of our techs. There's a few options here for white. I can discard this, for that tech to move the fleet. So there's a few things. I can move these guys back here, and like I said, I have the 1 point here for blue. That'll put white at 18 points. Hopefully they draw back in. The thing is, though, you're at your hand limit here, and you can't just, draw above 10 and then discard down to 10. It caps you out at that limit there. So I could move over here to draw more cards, but I can't because I'm actually at 10. Or I could maybe discard and then move these guys here to command and then, move them to another spot and see what's there. So, maybe white could get lucky here. And we could have a very abrupt end to this game. Let's check that out. Let's see how that happens here. We're gonna go ahead and discard this sabotage again. Remember now, we're executing the tech because the last card in the impulse says to do that. And we're gonna move these guys here, which is gonna allow them to move again. Because it's a command card, and we're going to go ahead and move them to here. Let's see what we got here. Well, there you go. White just drew a 3 blue. So on their next turn, they just got to get back up to here, which is easy because all you got to do is discard, move there, that'll allow you to move there, and then trade that, and then you'll instantly win the game. So we're definitely not going to put that one down, and we're just going to go ahead and put down, what should we do? Yeah, see, even now, look at that, we can win right now. We're going to put that down there. We land that, command 1 transport for 1 move. Bam, command 2 fleets for 1 move apiece. Well, guess what? I'm not going to do 2, I'm going to do 1. I'm going to move back there. I'm going to trade it in for 3 points. And white instantly wins the game once they hit 20 points. That's how the game plays. Let me go into my talking head review and try to recover from this catastrophe of a game that just happened. Okay, I hope you enjoyed that overview. If you watched the walkthrough part of it, that was a very wonky and lucky end for white. Now, as I said during the walkthrough, actually this is the second, well, technically it's actually the third, but it's the second complete walkthrough I've tried with this. I had one that was kind of a false start, and just because I kept screwing up, and just because honestly a lot of times with these walkthroughs, like I really just get lost in trying to, like, I start playing one player and then I do the other guy and I'm like, oh, he could have done this, and I was playing it really poorly. And then the second one was actually amazing. That was one of the better games that I've played, and this is actually my 10th play, if you count this as a play, of the game. And that last one that I did a walkthrough of last week, which had a lot of sound issues. There was a glitch with my camera, which I figured out, thankfully. But that was a really cool game. There was lots of battles and stuff. This one didn't even actually have any battles other than the sabotage. Now, in the review, I explained how the battles work. Basically what it is you have one cruiser go in and meet another cruiser. So you have the cruisers on the gates. And then if I want to send in, let's say I had my 5 cruisers here with yellow, I could have sent those in on like 1 cruiser from red. And then you take a look, everybody looks at the cards in their hands, and then any cards that match in symbol and size, the cards that are on the impulse or in front of them, not including their minerals. So anything in their plan and then their text, they can submit those face down. You can even bluff and put cards down that don't match. You flip those over, and then anything that matches applies. You just count all the icons, and that applies to sort of your battle strength. And then you flip cards off the deck equal to the number of little cruiser ships here, and then you just add up all the icons, and then whoever has the most wins and destroys the entire other fleet, you get 1 point per ship, and then 1 point per battle. You didn't see that in this game. In the previous game there was quite a bit of those, and there was a cool sort of last battle where I can't remember which color it was, but they went in and attacked the home world, and they were very aggressive and sort of like hunters. And that's how I've been kind of playing recently with, I like to go out and hunt. And forget the sector core. Yeah, you get 1 point per round, but what would he do? Unless you can control multiple gates in the sector core. If you have 3 gates controlled, that's 3 points per round. So that's a different story there. But hopefully at least, some folks were overwhelmed, I think, by the review, and they're overwhelmed by the rules, which frankly in my review I sort of glossed over. The rules are fine. There's just a couple of minor details that you're like, what? I don't understand. What is the last card in the impulse? Do I apply these icons here or there, or what? And so the rules are actually pretty good. There's a little FAQ at the back. The guys are pretty good from Asmati about answering questions on BGG, and so I would say they're not the greatest rules in the world, but they're definitely not a catastrophe by any means. But just know that going in and go check out BGG and give yourself a couple of plays to make sure that you're playing it right. So this way, I hope I didn't screw anything up. I don't think I did so far. Maybe when I edit it, I'll find some mistakes, but hopefully this gave you an idea how to play. And white got super lucky. I just got to tell you that right now, white got super lucky. And the red's initial move there to kind of move transport fleets into the sector core and score some early points, do not usually see that. I've seen that in one game that I've played face to face with friends, and there wasn't a similar reaction, you know, where they got wiped out. And actually in that game, 2 players actually got transports in there, and then, you know, we locked down, and so that nothing else could move in, because remember, the cruisers locked down the space. But that's an unusual thing. Usually you see cruisers get to the middle, lock it down, you start generating your point per turn, but that also keeps the transports out. So that was an interesting thing here. Red had that kind of double move combo. Yeah, so this play doesn't change my attitude towards the game whatsoever. It's very fluid. It's going to be very different. You're going to be able to. Another thing was there was a lot of card draw in this game. Never have I seen multiple players get up to, you know. Now, I think a lot of this has to do with, you know, me just playing by myself, and now I'm a lot more experienced with the game. And so there is definitely nuance, again, on the specificity of the card versus the generality of the card. So if it says command 1 transport fleet, or commands just any fleet or whatever, there's going to be little, you know, details between the different cards that are going to change. And, you know, based on situations and things, the generic cards are usually better. You know, some cards will say, like, refine a card and you get 2 points for the card no matter what's on it. Or another one will say refine a blue card and you get 1 point per icon or whatever. So there's a lot of that. But let's go into review again. Because thematically, I think the game actually works really well. You've got the whole explore thing. You've got digging through the deck to find different cool techs that you can exploit. I really like the impulse thing. You know, like you put out the sabotage, that comes back to bite you. You put out, you know, hey, build a cruiser. Well, everybody gets to build a cruiser. So there's all kinds of cool stuff like that that's going to happen in the game. And the other thing that, you know, I didn't get on too much in the game was the artwork. And I've heard people tell me, oh, hey, you know, the artwork doesn't look that hot. And to me, it's super functional, and that really is the key here. I don't think you'd really want to dress this up too much and make, you know, these icons look like planets, because you've got here, you know, there's a little circle there in the middle. That's kind of looks like a planet, but it's more of just like a line drawing. I mean, I like it. You know, I really would have a hard time if after somebody's played the game, they say they don't like the art. Well, I mean, you're totally missing an amazing game, really. I mean, honestly. But there's a lot of cool stuff that you can do. I mean, I've seen games where people build up a lot of huge minerals, and then, you know, they get a couple of those big boosts, and, you know, that to kind of take you over the finish line. And really exciting games. You know, like I said, the last playthrough was very exciting, and a couple of, you know, maybe half the games that we've played have had really big, exciting moments at the end where it's really close in points. We've had games where it's like, you know, first place is 20, second place is 19, third place is 18, and then, you know, fourth place is like 15, you know, and so everybody's really close within striking distance, and it kind of comes down to that final battle, that final sort of combo. And as you add more players as well, like I said, 2 players is but it's really about the impulse and trading back and forth and making certain actions available to your partner, and really setting up. It's just a very, you know, sort of solitaire engine building idea where, you know, everybody goes into the core and you maybe have a couple of battles there. But as you start to add more and more and more players, then you have, you know, territory wars over some of the different little combo actions that are going to happen on the map or in space. So anyway, enough review. I think I can tell you, like I told some people, I'm going to do a top 10 list of lunch games, for example, and this is going to be on the list. And so I was going to do that video last week, but then I played this and I was like, well, this is totally on the list, because just a little insight, that list is basically compiled for me and my friends. It's not really just my top 10 list, but it's one that like I could break it out and all of us would be like, we will play that. We don't care. You know, that's something we will all be happy playing. And this is one of those that, you know, everybody has really, really enjoyed playing. So I think I've talked for way too long, but anyway, so any feedback's appreciated. So thanks. Enjoy.